Avoid dating Russian women if you are a single man. That was the title of my video that I released on this channel about a week ago. And even though it's a brand new channel, it's gotten tens and thousands of views on YouTube and hundreds of comments of people saying so many different things. Obviously, Russian women had their opinion. I wonder what it was going to be. Men dating those women had their opinions, but a lot of you had a lot of very common opinions about that. So I thought, let me respond to the top most common comments that I got on that video, and we're gonna do that right now. Number one comment was from a lot of men who have attempted or dated or married Russian women. And they basically said, yep, I'm glad somebody said it. I wish I knew this before I met and dated and divorced my Russian wife. I had almost no men who dated Russian women disagree with me, though a few of them did, and we'll get to that in just a second. So it appears that my personal experiences, and I was generalizing, are not that uncommon in Russia and outside of Russia. All these men dating Russian women outside of Russia, which I think is actually makes it even worse. And many of those men actually added to a long list of all those negative traits that they just absolutely hated about the Russian, and I should really say Russian-speaking women, so that includes Ukrainian, Moldovan, and so forth. So I did not realize that the list was as long as I originally proposed. Number two, and obviously this came from Russian women, they said, oh yeah, you're just a loser who just cannot handle a strong, independent Russian woman. Yeah. So actually I get this a lot, not just from Russian women, but from a lot of modern American women. Now, what they don't understand is when you are a good man, you do not want to handle anything. If you're going to give your time, your resources, your money to a woman and commit to her, you don't want to be handling anything. She's not a bear that you need to handle on a daily basis, though a lot of them are actually, well, I guess this is an insult to bears. But when men do not want to handle women. We want women who will benefit our lives, who will add to our lives. And most importantly, and this is what a lot of women and definitely men don't understand, we want women who give us peace. If we have to handle you, that is the opposite of that, and automatically we don't want you. So what I would say to these Russian and many modern women who tell me this is that if you think that a man wants you because you're nothing but trouble and you add to the stress to his life and he consistently has to battle with you, you don't know what a man wants, and most likely you will never find a good man because these men want to avoid you, and that's what my whole video was about. Number three, and these were the comments from men who are happily married to Russian women right now. Now, I think it's called what is it, Stockholm syndrome, right? When a bunch of hostages get taken by the captors, and if they spend enough time in that situation, a female hostage would fall in love with one of the captors. I think there are plenty of movies and real life stories have been done by that. But my point is that these men usually are simps, and that's why they went for these women in the first place. They were probably raised without fathers or with very strong-figured single mothers. So they think that women should be this way. They've never known anything else. They've never dated or even met or considered the traditional submissive, wonderful women. So they don't know how abusive and toxic their marriages are. So yeah, you can say that in the comment section all you want. Oh, I'm so happy with my Russian wife. Well, I'll be the judge of that. And I challenge any of these men to come on this channel. We can have a live interview or recorded interview. And I bet if I start digging into your marriages, I will find some major problems that you don't see because you're just so used to this toxic abuse. So don't tell me how happy you are in your marriage with a Russian woman. And yes, of course, there are some exceptions, but most of the time, you just don't even know. Number four, and this is a mix from different people, they essentially said, Alex, not all Russian women are like this. And it is absolutely true. I did mention it in my original video that I'm generalizing. But when you want to make a general decision, for example, while I'm at an event or at a party and there's a couple of Russian girls over there and there's a couple of Thai girls over there, where should I go? You know, I can't be talking to all of these women all at once. I have to concentrate my attention on women where I think I will be the most successful. And so my advice is that you are much less likely to find a good, traditional, submissive, kind woman if you approach and start communicating with Russian women. Are there some wonderful, amazing Russian women out there? Yes. I'm sure I haven't met any of them in the last couple of decades, but I'm sure there are. But generally speaking, my advice to you, and this was based on, you know, my personal experiences and experiences of many other people, and now even more based on what I've heard in the comment section, you know, don't waste your time. Avoid Russian women. Pick other women that you're more likely to succeed if you're looking for a good traditional, well, if you like to be abused in your relationship, if you like drama and toxicity, and you like to consistently give your money and attention and everything to your wife that's going to give you very little in return, sure, then go right ahead. But if you don't like any of that stuff, just stay away from Russian women. There are plenty of others, especially here in Southeast Asia. And this is probably one of the most common comments I got, where a lot of people say, well, you know, you're just describing 90% of all women. Or some people say just bluntly, all women. Okay, that's not true. Now, yes, I am still describing most of the modern women with that video that I posted, because modern women are essentially entitled, undateable, independent, and all that other bullshit. That then the reason why a lot of us men either stop dating at all and walking away, or move out of those countries to the countries like in Southeast Asia, what I did. But the Russian women are all that, as bad as modern women are. However, they do carry extra poison, and that's why I kind of compared them to snakes, because the more beautiful snakes are, the more poisonous they are. And again, I love snakes. Like, you know, I genuinely do love reptiles and snakes. So nothing against snakes. Do not want to insult snakes by comparing them to Russian women. So this is very, very important, that there is some extra poison with Russian women. So when things, not only your relationships will be more toxic, but if they don't work out, what happens when you break up or, God forbid, divorce a Russian woman? The punishment is going to be so much more painful. Now, and at the same time, I want to defend a lot of amazing, wonderful women, which we do have in large numbers here in Thailand and Southeast Asia and South America, many other traditional countries. So I would not say that I've described all or 90% of women. We have plenty of them here. You guys might have just not met them yet, and a lot of foreigners who do come here, who are simping, who've never even thought about how wonderful these relationships can be with traditional women, they cannot even identify them. And a lot of times you gotta speak the language of the country. Like, for example, I only date Thai women who don't speak English. Only speak Thai, and my Thai is getting better and better, so I'm getting more and more opportunities. And that's how I guard my relationships against all of the toxicity that comes and infects the Thai women who do speak English. And if you are a single man who's watching me right now and say, listen, yes, I am tired of these Russian women and modern women and American women. I do just want a good girl who doesn't need to be handled, but who will give me peace. I genuinely believe that you have no other choice but to leave America or the Western country where you live and do what I did and many other men are doing as we speak. And that's what this channel is all about. The Million Men Project. Essentially move to a country with more traditional family values where you do have a chance to meet a great traditional girl to date and marry. So if you're interested in that, go to themillionmenproject.com. I have outlined every single little detail how you can actually do this. I know it sounds scary, but anything from original planning to picking the country that you will be happy in and then pulling the trigger and moving and doing it in the right way. So go to themillionmenproject.com, and hopefully one day I will see you right here with many other men who live here and are very, very happy.